move into South Carolina by Wednesday evening.
Well, yeah, the pictures and videos of all that stuff in Florida, not good looking stuff. And that was obviously where the brunt of everything went through. And then, of course, Southeast Georgia is still taking on some of that. But it's, it's more tropical storm type stuff now as opposed to hurricane. Now, this is in Swainsboro. At a camera shot we're looking at here on our network, and in a little while when I looked at it, a while ago, probably in the past 30-45 minutes, it was really knocking around. This is sort of close to the center of circulation here as it makes its way kind of more north of Savannah, heading in towards South Carolina. So everything moving away. We'll see upper 60s to around 70 to start the day tomorrow. And there is a look at the radar shot, and what we're seeing is the bulk of the rain, again, sliding on off toward the east here. What's left behind, a few little sprinkles, a little thin ribbon of a band that's sort of, it doesn't take up a whole lot of area, just kind of going down like this. And there's another one on off toward the west there. Let's slide the map over a little bit. And you can see once we get over there that flash flood warnings continue to follow along with this as it goes on up into South Carolina. So that's one of the main problems. The wind is one thing, but of course we just rain over the same areas. And really, it's not a huge problem. You can see worse than that. If you had a really slow moving storm system, think 1994, one that just sort of dawdles and sits still, that's when the big flooding problems happen. So actually to get by with 5.5 inches in some of our southeastern counties here, not so bad. You get outside of that, that's where you're seeing 6-7 inches, but we've seen some totals much bigger than that on some other tropical systems. So there's the big picture. Again, your outside bands on the dirty side of the storm is where you're going to see an occasional tornado warning. We've seen that throughout the day. I don't see any right there now, but on the clean side where we are, again, is just sprinkles, if anything at all, right there, and maybe a little bit of a breeze. So talking about the breeze, again, the number in white, that's going to be your kind of sustained winds, steady wind at times, and then you'll see a wind gust go a little bit over that. We're looking at 20 to 25, walk in the park. No big deal with that. Earlier today, we saw some 35. The only one really that I saw recorded, and surely there are other sites in between here, but the ones that we're looking at here, was in Eastman. There was a 40-mile-per-hour wind gust, and that's just barely into tropical storm force winds. Tropical storm force is 39 to 73, so it was on the low end of that. So that was pretty good. When you look back here at the toward the east here is where everything rolls on off. You see a wind gust of 38 in Savannah. St. Simons, I'm not sure what that sensor is, but it keeps reporting 50-something to 60-something mile-per-hour wind gusts. I don't see anything else near that, but it could be. That's the number that we're seeing there. And of course, some of the coastal areas having to watch out, and with a big full moon, high tide and all that, to see if this is going to, affect anything. Check out tropical storm warnings or lack thereof. All of ours just dropped off with the exception of Treutlen and Wheeler counties, just kind of tagging onto the back of this as it pulls away. So again, it is no longer Hurricane Idalia. It is Tropical Storm Idalia with winds at 70 miles per hour and continuing to kind of drop down. And this looks like a storm that is going to ride right on off the coast here on into the Atlantic. And we'll see what happens when it gets out there. It may dawdle around for a while. Here's a look at future view. Shows everything pulling away. Maybe still a sprinkle left over. This takes us into tomorrow. Maybe a little rain chance. We'll see if anything south and west of us wants to pop up. Otherwise, mainly dry. There's a look at tomorrow night. Then we get it. None of this associated with Idalia, obviously. The storm is gone. There's Friday morning, Friday afternoon looking good on into Friday night. And I wanted to show you, what map do I have next? All right, here's a look at the temperatures here. And then I'm going to run out of time because I want to show you the dew points. It looks like as we get into tomorrow, some warm stuff with upper 80s. But then as we go into Friday, we could see a little bit of some cooler, drier air coming in from the northwest. It could put us in the 80s. Watch this. This takes us into Friday. Right there. Now that would be nice to get some dew points in the 50s right in time for a tailgate show for football Friday night. So that could be good, kind of a payoff as we go into the end of the week. Here's from the unfortunate file though. We can go, Sherrod, you can take this full and fade me out. We're looking at 80s for the most part as we finish the week on into the weekend. Some models next week are trying to put us back over 100 again. I just didn't do it. I don't have the heart to do it. So I put it somewhere in the low to mid 90s, and we'll follow that as we get closer, guys.
Thank you, Ben. We're taking a look at some photos sent in from some of you to the 13 WMAZ Network Facebook group.
Yeah, coming from Valdosta.